The title of this podcast is My Purpose Was Not to Set Out to Change the World, it's to change me. I remember when I had started ToBeRe, I had these grand plans about I want to change the world. This is what Gandhi did. Dr. King had he did that. So did, Nelson Mandela. I was like, I want to be like that. And I can't speak for what they did or how they did it. I can just talk about what I saw and what I've read and what I've heard from their speeches. Nelson Mandela, when he was in prison, all his life up to that point was trying to change South Africa from the apartheid country that it was. And then he had a breakthrough when he was in prison. And it became about changing himself. And in doing so, he was able to transform the hearts and minds of the guards who, up until that point, had been his captors. When I think about Gandhi and he was fighting for the liberation of India, he started with changing himself. And so when I think about ToBeRe and where I was before, there were some good things that came out of it, but it was a lot of suffering on my part along the way of fighting and trying to will things into being, trying to influence people to change their behaviors in a way that was not a request that they consider looking at their behavior a different way to have a better life experience and better health, but rather you should be doing it this way if you want this. And now it's more of a request, and that only happened, this different approach to how I serve the moment in front of me and the people that I have the opportunity to connect and partner with, that only happened because I changed what my focus was. I changed the objective, which is not to change other people or try to change the world. I'm not setting out to do it anymore. I'm setting out to change me. Every single day, I'm working on me. And I encourage you to do the same thing. When I look back on just every bit of my life before I started on this more intelligent journey, this more thoughtful journey of the practice and working on myself, when I reflect back on what life was like before, it was a challenge. And I didn't really have a life. I had a struggle. And no matter what it is you're setting out to do, if you would work on yourself and make that the focus, it's amazing how different your life experience is. You move from having a struggle to actually having a life. And that applies to everything. Everything that I have now or in experiencing now is turning me on and fulfilling me in so many incredible ways. And there are challenges abound, but I see them as opportunities to work on myself because that's my objective, is to change me. And each one of those is an opportunity to let go of me, the little me, more and more. And so if you're a parent, don't set out to be a parent or the best parent. Set out to be the best you, and then you will automatically be the best of everything. The best parent, the best partner, the best coworker, the best leader, the best collaborator and partner or subordinate. You will be the best at all those things. And I feel like I'm much better as a ToBeRe member than I was before. Oftentimes people will find that I was in the Marine Corps and they want to thank me for my service while I was, as a veteran. And I feel like I say thank you back because it's the polite thing to do, but I don't deserve it. I don't deserve the thanks. I mean, my life was on the line. So if you want to thank me for that, okay. But the kind of person I was when I was serving, there's nothing noble about that. There's nothing to find inspiring about that behavior before. I complained all the time like it was a superpower. I judged every decision that was made by leaders who I reported to. I made living in Yuma, Arizona, a problem without seeing that it could be a beautiful place for me to have a spiritual practice and to learn and to grow and accept the place that I was stationed. Because me complaining about it and judging it, making it a problem, then changed the fact that I was going to be stationed there for 4 years. And I could have made that a beautiful experience and come out of it with so much growth. And It just could have been a completely different experience, but people thank me for that time. If there was ever a time, which there isn't, but if there was ever one in which you want to acknowledge me for my service, it's today because I'm working on myself. So guess what? I become an incredible neighbor to the people that I live close to. I'm incredibly kind. I don't judge them for their political beliefs or who they voted for. When we had the pandemic, I didn't make them wrong for masking or choosing not to mask, for having strong opinions about vaccinations or people or not being vaccinated. I didn't get caught up in any of that. I was just loving, kind, and open hearted to it all. Now, if you want to thank me for being a contribution to my neighborhood, absolutely. Come into the workplace and there's challenges, with staffing or challenges with projects and where they are in times of the time in terms of the timeline. Nah, I'm great with that. Like if you want to thank me for being a good partner at work, for doing my part, for apologizing when I don't do my part, for not making a situation worse by bringing my own drama or my own like unhealed self to the conversation. Yeah, if you want to thank me for that, for working on myself, absolutely. Like, yeah, give me that service award if you choose to, because I am really living up to this new approach that I started doing with the practice, which is not setting out to change the world, but instead focusing completely on changing me. So if you're in a relationship with a significant other, stop trying to change them. Work on changing you. Parents, stop trying to change the kids. Of course, guide them, but do it from a place that you actually have sound ground to stand on because you've been working on changing you. And that goes for the workplace and your families and everywhere else. Make the objective not about changing others, not about changing the world. Those things might happen, but only after you worked on changing you.